forgive me if my knees are a little shaky. I'm sorry. Anyway, good morning once again, everyone. I'm from the MPA. My name is John Paul Parker of Padayon, and it is truly an honor and a privilege to be here in front of you in this impromptu. Anyway, so my question is, cultural heritage is centered on protecting our sense of who we are. Explain this. Now, this would not be a problem if I was going to write, because but the problem is I'm standing here right now in front of you with my knees shaking, and I have to answer this and to explain. So let me give you. Okay, so let's start with first. What is cultural heritage? Look at me. I'm Filipino. Why? Barong Tagalog. Seeing that alone in Asia, he's Filipino. He's wearing Barong Tagalog. Well, other people can wear this too, but it's largely associated to us. Why? Because cultural heritage is identity. It identifies us, who we are as a people. Okay. Now, the second part of my answer. Okay, it's protecting. So how do we protect our cultural heritage? I've had the privilege of having a few years of teaching Chinese students online. I was able to teach them English. And one of the things I was able to notice is that China was very protective of its culture. How? They don't have Facebook. They don't have YouTube. They don't have Google. Because they consider these as a threat to their cultural heritage. So what did they do? They made their own social media platform. They made their own research platform. So can we do that too? I don't think so, because Philippines is more of a adaptive culture. We adopt what we like. We don't like to be told what we should like. In a recent news I heard, one of the senators suggested that we ban K-drama. Is that it? Do you agree? No. Why? Because it can be an example for us to learn and to earn. You know what Chito Miranda said? We should earn that respect for our own cultural heritage. That's why I also agree. I also heard about this show from GMA about Crisostomo Ibarra and Maria Clara, thank you. You helped me. Maria Clara. Although it's not perfect, but it's a perfect way of awareness for our next generation. It's very good. The very first thing you learn is who they are, who created them. Who created them? Jose Rizal, our national hero, my personal idol. Not because he was famous with the women, but because he was very, intellectual and a patriot. So, and lastly, I don't know how much time I have left. So, how do we protect it? Okay, I have 1 minute. Awareness. I know this is all boring, it's the same. Awareness, but it's true. Why? Because I see my own kid every day. He doesn't even know the Manapot tradition of the Philippines. So that's sad. And I plan to correct that as soon as all of this is over. Because we can't lose our identity as Filipinos. Our identity as Filipinos, because we are, first of all, God-fearing. The only Christian nation in Southeast Asia. We are also hospitable. It's the first thing that vloggers from foreign vloggers have. Filipinos are very hospitable, God-fearing, and neighbor-loving. So let's please, let's help each other preserve our cultural heritage, protect it. Let's work together. So, thank you, and once again, good morning.
Okay, contestant number 2, you may start.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, judges. And good morning to my fellow contestants. It is a privilege and opportunity to stand here in front of you and to share my ideas. Okay, my question runs this way. COVID-19 pandemic made changes in our way of life, which we call the new normal. Explain what new normal is and how it affected the Filipino culture. So, we Filipinos, before the pandemic, we love going to cultural performances, we love live music, live performances that we enjoy as our hobby, to entertain us, to enjoy life. But pandemic happens. Our life changes. We cannot go to live performances at our convenience. We cannot go to the places that we love to go, to the cultural places like the museums. We cannot go to the places that we most love to spend with our loved ones. The new normal made changes in our lives. We cannot go at our convenience, and we cannot hear the music that we want or watch the cultural performances at our convenience. We Filipinos took a hard toll in this pandemic. Lots of us suffer depression. Lots of us have mental issues. Lots of us have no way to cope with the pandemic or with the stress that we are experiencing. That's why we tend to find ways for us to cope up. But there's none. So this new normal affected our life largely. And then, but the cultural sectors, they didn't give up. They have found ways for us to enjoy the life that we had before the pandemic. The live performances, the live music, the live cultural performances that we used to enjoy. We have now, through the digitalization, we can watch the live music through YouTube, to Facebook Live, so we can cope up with the stress and the effect of the pandemic. As a Filipino, we cannot take away from our culture that we love going out, that we love watching the dances, the arts in the museum, the music, listening to music, especially those that express who we are as a Filipino. So one example we have there, in this present pandemic, we have as we all know, we have there the SB19. Okay, so as a young Filipino, this is how we cope up with the stress and the toll of the pandemic on my life. Their music has brought comfort to me, even if I cannot see them personally. And I'm so very thankful to those cultural sectors that find ways for us to hear that our culture is still alive, even if we are in the midst of this pandemic. It may not last, but I believe that together we will find ways to bring the normal back to us. Okay, that's all, and thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My question is like this. What is your stand on the continued devaluation of Philippine peso over the US dollar and its effect on the Philippine economy and the possible decay of Filipino cultural heritage because of the massive trade trade? For the first part of the question, regarding the devaluation of the Philippine peso, it has a positive and negative effects. For those Filipinos who have relatives and families abroad, they are very happy because the dollar is, the exchange of dollar is high. However, if you look at it, However, if you look at it simply, the Filipino or the Philippines is at the losing end. Why? Because the value of our Philippine peso is lesser. It means our exporters who export products from different countries of the world receive less from the products that they sold. If we have to purchase products during importation side, we have to pay more pesos so that we can get the product from other countries. So, looking at it, it means in the whole, in the totality, Filipinos are the losing end with the Philippine peso devalues. The second question is, what is the possible decay of the Philippine cultural heritage because of the massive militarism? This is really a very sad part. When I studied my master's degree, before I studied my master's degree, in the Philippines, if you hear people speaking very fluent English, we're very happy and we're very proud. Oh, she speaks so well. And then when I studied my master's degree, I realized that Philippines is we already adopt the culture of other countries. We feel to love our own language. And then I realized Philippine language is so beautiful. And then I learned to listen to radios speaking our own language. It feels so good and I feel so proud. I realized that other countries try to preserve their languages and their culture. However, in our case, it is lessening and lessening. If you walk around the streets, walk around the mall, children are speaking English, and the parents are very proud of it. But looking at it deeply, we are losing our culture. We are losing our language. And with respect to the brain drain, because they said the Philippines, our life is hard. It's not easy to find jobs in the Philippines. That's why Filipinos try to work to find jobs abroad. In a way, we are losing great people, and these people excel in other countries. So, in order to protect our culture, the government must ensure that we provide enough jobs to our people, so that they will not be motivated to work abroad. In this way, we can protect our culture, we can nurture our heritage, and we can ensure that these excellent peoples are nurtured in the Philippines. So, it is important that the private and the government should work hand in hand so that we can provide the necessary jobs for all Filipinos so that they will not be encouraged to travel abroad and earn money. Instead, they will work in the Philippines and share the knowledge. So that's why I'm never tempted to travel abroad or study abroad. I realize that I love Philippines. So that's all. Thank you.
Cultural heritage of the Philippines is as colorful as the rainbow. My dear friends, my question or my topic to be discussed is the major industry affected by COVID-19 pandemic is tourism. How can we revitalize this industry and uphold awareness of cultural heritage among tourists? Before I answer, may I request everybody to raise your right hand, tap the shoulder of your seatmate, and tell me ang gwapo, ang ganda mo. Revitalizing the Philippine tourism industry starts within yourself by acknowledging the beauty of our own culture. There is a song who says, tayo mga Pinoy, tayo hindi gano, kahit tayo pango, may kagandahan tayo. That's one way to point out revitalizing our culture. Our culture or tourism industry does not only lies within the beautiful beaches of Guimaras, the mango industry of Guimaras, but our tourism industry also lies with the medical tourism. We have great doctors to promote in the medical field, like for example, surgery, derma. That is one way to revitalize, promoting the medical industry of the Philippines. Second, the school itself could be an avenue of tourism by improving and implementing clean and green. Like for example, that we're doing here in Guimaras, we are adopting environmentally friendly by promoting solar panel. Not only that, with the other programs of Guimaras, like for example, the tree planting. That is one way to promote tourism industry. Second, our rich Catholic faith should be given emphasis. The churches in the Philippines, not only the Catholic and other churches like Iglesia ni Cristo, Mormons, are good example of a tourism infrastructure that we could promote and invite other people to study architectural design in the Philippines. We Filipinos born not only to revitalize our industry, but to revitalize our education. Lastly, for me to promote and to revitalize the tourism industry is to instill proper education to the people of the importance of our cultural heritage. Irony, Father Albacini, a friar priest in 1668, conducted a study and documented that babay lands in our culture is for women, but there were babay lands that are men, and they were called bayo, and these bayo were allowed to dress as a woman and to have practice, and they are not condemned by their culture that they are gay or homosexual. Part of it is the acceptance of our historical values in order to revitalize. To promote again the self-respect of every Filipino, the mano po should be revitalized as part of the tourism industry, and so that tourism people could come and see how we are respectful. Thank you, and God bless you all.
That's a point to all of you. So my question runs this way. Full face-to-face classes for tertiary level is being urged in the Senate of the Philippines. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? As an educator and as a school head of a simple elementary situated in a far-flung area somewhere in the mountainous areas of the past, the full implementation of face-to-face classes for tertiary level is a long and overdue issue before. Since DepEd have opened the limited face-to-face classes for elementary and secondary, both in public and private school, this has been a gateway for tertiary to open the same thing. Because first, this will be my clear reason. Tertiary education, the students, they are in mature level. Second, the critical learning stage. The learning stage is critical. And number three, tertiary level is experience approach. When I have watched the news over televisions when Senator Pia Cayetano had a sort of debate or discussion with the University of the Philippines president, like they are requesting the Senate budget to augment some certain amount in order to help the University of the Philippines to be so ready in terms of implementations and preparations with school managing and operations, of course, in order for a certain school to be ready with full face-to-face, the demands of budget and resources is really challenging. That is why the UP president is requesting the Senate for additional budget in order for them to ready. How much more the other school or the small universities who are deprived or lacking of budget just to respond to the learning needs of both the teachers and the learners. So with that, it is an eye-opener to all schools or to the government itself that it is not easy for a certain college to open the operation of the school in order to be ready with full face-to-face classes. But here is my grounds. Why do we need to open the full face-to-face classes for college? First, students are mature enough to be accountable and responsible of their actions. If a certain elementary student or a secondary student can be guided, how much more the secondary that their level of maturity is good enough. They will follow the rules given by their professors, the rules set by the college, but of course with strong guidance and monitoring done by the professors, they would certainly follow this. Second, in tertiary level, learning is critical. We all know that the learning in college life is not as easy compared to college. In college life or in college learning, the theory, the methods, the actual life of a certain course, especially in education or nursing student, they have to be exposed in actual or in the power of interaction, collaboration, or in the power of direct instruction, wherein the discussions can be done between the teacher and students. So with that, the interactions or the exchange of ideas can be done, and with that, the level of understanding can be forged or can be increased. Third argument is that college level is approach level. We all believe that in the absence of experience, learning is lacking. And the best teacher is experience, most especially in medical students in college or a certain educator student. In the absence of internship, in the absence of on-job training in medical courses, so in the absence of experience approach, they would probably learn the theories, the methods, but in the absence of experience, again, their learning would be lacking. So together, be it in college, in secondary or in elementary, it is a due time to do our best to make education feasible and possible to everyone. As what Councilman Mandela once said, education is the strongest weapon which can change the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and God bless.
Okay, you may start. Contestant number 6.
May I request? Just I am over age but under height. Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the judges and to Dr. Maria. Good morning. Today we are celebrating the cultural sports and cultural program of our school. But before I begin, I would like to give my salute to Dean Martyr because he is the one who truly encouraged me to continue my studies. He searched for me for so long, and now I'm here. So, yeah, it's long overdue. The question that I got is, today we are holding our sports and cultural festival. As a student of advanced education, graduate school, what is your idea on its relevance to upholding cultural heritage? Our culture is our identity. It tells who we are. It identifies us to which group we belong. And I'm proud to say that I belong to GSU, the school that caters quality education and nevertheless the culture. Now, the program today is very relevant in preserving our culture. Preserving the culture that identifies who we are. Preserving the culture that tells how resilient the Filipino is. As a student of this university, I am very proud and happy that our school is observing this kind of occasion. Preserving, promoting the advocacies related to culture preservation. We all know that Philippines is visited by so many tourists. Would be religious tourism, hospitality tourism, education tourism, leisure tourism. All of the visitors affects and contribute to the evolution of culture. And celebrating occasion like this reminds us students that we have our own culture to promote, we have our own culture to protect that identifies us. That is cultural resiliency. We are not resisting change. We do not resist the coming of other cultures here, the merger of cultures. But our institution promotes and preserve and conserve our identity, and that is very important to us. One thing that I am really proud and I'm very happy that this school is doing and having this kind of program, the promotion of culture, protection of culture. Number one is the protection and preservation of intangible culture, and education belongs to that. Intangible education, culture includes education, values, and I highly appreciate the gesture of the leaders of the school looking for the lost sheep. If this school is not preserving the quality, the culture of quality, the culture of humanity, the caring, I would have lost my way. I'm so thankful for this kind of culture that we are promoting here, and the culture that you leaders of the school are advocating. So this is very relevant at this point that we are recovering from pandemic. Relevant that your school, our school, is promoting academic resiliency, cultural resiliency through education, continuing education through different platforms. Be it modular, and for us, the graduate studies through online, although we are from the far places, still you are reaching for us. And that is part of intangible culture of GSU that celebrates today the cultural program. And I'm so thankful and grateful for being a part of this work. May our institution continue to promote this, not only showcasing the structures of Guimaras, the roots of Guimaras, but most especially, I really advocate and support the advocacies of the GSU through education of excellence, through education tourism, that those students from other places are coming in here because of your promotion. That is part of our culture. I hope you'll continue this. That's all. Thank you.
All right, so let us give a round of applause to our contestants. Indeed, they have done their best in delivering their speeches. Congratulations to all of you. I would like to acknowledge our pink judge, our very own Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Rubini Catalan. And also I would like to give thanks to our timer, Professor Germán Galimba, our official calculators, Professor Jeffrey Magbanwa, Dr. Geoffrey Basilio, and Dr. Aurelio T. Ocho. I would like also to give thanks to our judges, our very own University President, Dr. Lilian Diana Pareño, Professor Joseph H. Gaetano, Mrs. Janet R. Alman, Dr. Rubini Catalan, and Honorable Attorney Romel Jan Eda. Thank you very much. What's your bed? Contestant number 1, you may clap your hands from the MPA group. Contestant number 2 from the MA group. How about for the DM, contestant number 3? And contestant number 4 from the MBA. Contestant number 5 from the EDD. And last, contestant number 6 from the EDD also. Now, we have number 4 and number 6. Ito ay naman.
So the third placer is Ma'am Fredeline Saklot Medina. So she is from the DM group. Our second place, no less than the representative from the MBA group, Sir Rocky Collins. And lastly, our winner from the PhD group, Sir Zaldi Barnizo Jr. Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations to our winners.
Okay, so I have requested our MC, Professor Christy, to give me the chance to deliver a short message to everyone. You know, I am thinking that I am thinking that today this event should be a little bit just a very simple one. But when I came in, oh, they are so handsome and beautiful ladies. And indeed, we can see how JSU, whom you become who you are, on the way you delivered the instant or the impromptu speech. I am so thankful to you for being sport and being candid about this, despite your status, your degree, or even your position in your respective organization. Thank you for really joining our activity. So it only shows the holistic education that we are giving you. And you know, being part of Guimaras State University and our students, we are also very, very proud of all of you. Good luck to our winners, and also God bless to the non-winners.